Hello and welcome to the SEKISUI SuccessFactors Learning Administrator Training video series. In today's video, we will be learning how to create an e-learning item in the learning management system. This is one of the most useful features for anyone who manages training program design. So let's get started. Begin by logging into the system, and from the home page, scroll down to the bottom and select the Learning Management tile. From the Learning Management home screen, select the Learning item from the header at the top of the screen. Select Items from the tabs on the left side of the screen and select Add New. As in the very first video of this series, when we created a scheduled only item, we are now going to create an online only item, which is an item that we use for online based learning. After selecting the item, scroll down to the bottom of the screen and select OK. Input some basic information about the item. The item type must be selected as e-learning. In the ID, put example e-learning 1. We then need to give our e-learning a title. This will appear in users' learning screens, so be careful about what you select. You may also input a description of the e-learning if you wish. And finally, before selecting continue, let's select a domain where we want this item to be stored. As per usual, I will select the all domain for the purpose of this training. In reality, when selecting a domain, make sure that you consider who you want to be able to view this e-learning item. If you select all, your colleagues from around the world will be able to access the item that you have created. Then select Continue. So, we have now generated an e-learning item. However, it is empty of content, so we need to begin by adding some of the content that we made a few videos ago. Select the green plus button in the top left-hand corner of the window. Then select Add Content Object. Now we can choose from different content objects that have been uploaded into the system. So click the magnifying glass next to the content object box. Now let's search for the content object item that we created a couple of videos ago. Input the first few characters of the content object ID that you created for the item that we uploaded. I will select the example content ID 1 video. You then need to give the video a name. If you select Mark this object complete when launched, it means the item will show as completed as soon as it is opened by a user. I recommend selecting this as standard. Then click OK. The system will prompt you to add a completion status. As we selected Mark this object completed when launched. As you can see, our example training video has been added to the item. We can now continue to add other content to populate this item. We can also add the assessment that we created in the last video. Once again, click the magnifying glass and search for your assessment ID. As you can see, example quiz ID 1, which we created last video, is visible. Click Select, then give your assessment a name. There are a range of different objects which enable you to control how users take the assessment. For example, you can restrict users' access to other online item objects when the assessment is in progress to prevent any kind of cheating. You can then choose to select Record Learning Event when the assessment is passed, and even Record Learning Event when the assessment is failed if you want to prevent users from taking the quiz more than once. Then select OK. So, we have now added an example training video and e-learning assessment to our item. The final step for ensuring that users can view the e-learning item that we've just created is to click the Settings option on the right side of the screen. Select Modify Settings and check Content is available for launch and Record Learning Event when all content is complete. Finally, select OK. You will now see that the red circle that was there previously has turned green, which means the content is available for launch so a user can access it in their learning page once it has been assigned to them. Finally, click Save and Exit. The training is now live, and as you can see, we can assign it to users. But before doing this, we're going to add this training item to a catalog, which we'll learn how to do in the next video. That catalog will then be assigned to ourselves as an example. But for this video, that's it. Great job, guys. Stay tuned for our next SuccessFactors Learning Administrator training video.